would you do if you were all alone and you came face to face with a demon spawn?
It might have been different had you not been hanging from a cross.
If you never trust anyone, how can you tell friends from traitors?
They have all lied to you. I've decided to be honest.
Hello everyone, I am Tara the Fox, and let's play Demonheart. Before we do anything though, look at this sexy, hot necklace! Oh, look at it, it looks so shiny, so pretty! I want to touch it.
What are you doing, my pretty?
And yes, if you actually touch this necklace on the screen, he actually says something. Quite a interesting little take on that. But anyway, Demonheart is a visual novel with a lot of interesting mechanics to this game. Some of them are very well done and I kind of like them. Others are poorly implemented. And you'll see what I mean when we get the story started. So let us begin Chapter 1. And yes, this is cut off in different chapters. I believe there's 5 in total. Chapter 1, Dissension.
I found us. All 3 of us.
3 of us, really? Already, we are in hell, apparently. That was fast. It was another nightmare. I could hear her crying as if she was close, but no matter how much I searched, I couldn't find her. There was something strange about these dreams. She told me things I never knew. I could not have made them up in my mind. These dreams aren't mine. Wait, they're not ours? I can't stop thinking about her and everything that happened. We had all been scarcely eating since Father lost his job. With age catching up with him, there were slim odds he would get another one. I glanced around our family home. This is all we had. So here's a nice little mechanic. If you inspect stuff, you get a little extra information about it. Let's see. So it goes magnifying glass saying, there's nothing of importance here, but once you see the eyeball, it means, hey, you can examine this. Our bed sheets were torn, but always clean. I slept in one bed, while my parents had to share the other. I hope they're not making babies right next to me. Let's see. Examine the roof. We lived in a one-story house and slept right under the roof. It felt cozy somehow. Let's see, and this screen will automatically go away when you've examined everything. Putting food on the table was starting to feel like a special event. There was usually nothing to serve. Why did it change that, and soon? Father's coat hung above my parents' bed, but he was not at home. He had some friends in the neighborhood who were more or less in the same situation as us. Well, most of them could afford a basic living, but so could we, up until recently. Let's see, there's a little bit more. Oh, there we go. All of our supplies were running low. And once you've done everything, other dialogue will pop up saying you've searched everything, so. And of course you can always skip that, which is always a nice little mechanic if you want to just speed through this. Mother appeared by my side like a shadow. If it weren't for her cough, I might not have noticed her.
We'll run out of money for food if we don't do something. I will have to find work as a cleaning lady.
Alright. So as you can see right here, the mother is still talking, but there's no voice acting. Here's one of my gripes with this game. This happens a lot. I have no idea what happened during this process. Maybe they lost the files, or maybe they never got the voice acting for this, or maybe the project was over and they decided to add more of dialogue at the end without the voice actors. I don't know. But it's heavily annoying. It's very, very heavily annoying that, hey, she's talking, and then you see her still talking, but she's not saying anything through the voice acting. So, unfortunately for you, viewer, I will have to provide the voices for you. And no, they're not going to be even close. So, bear with me. It will be long hours of hard work, but at least you'll be eating. And here we have our decisions. We can say, no, Mother, you're sick. I should be the one looking for work. Or we could say, a cleaning lady, you won't be earning me enough money for anything. Or, I wasn't sure what to say. Let's be nice about it. We love our mama. And if you see her up to the left, we got the alignment shifted to good. So here's kind of the nice little mechanic about this game. There's a good if you reply with the good dialogue, you get the alignment of good. If you reply with bad dialogue, you get the evil alignment. And there's also tactful and defiance. You'll kind of see in the long run they don't really do that much. And as we progress, you'll kind of see what I mean. But for now, just know that is a nice little mechanic to this game. Just then, someone knocked on the door and interrupted us. Mother went to open the door, then turned around, holding a letter. It was a young boy. He brought you a message. I was a little surprised. No one ever wrote to me, I should say. And such fine paper. I read the signature first. Orchid. Orchid was a healer witch beloved by the townspeople of Feline. She often had travelers from the nearby towns seek her out for healing too. Due to her unique skills, she was considered indispensable in this whole south of Shermire. Although affordable, Orchid's skills did not come for free. In fact, she had made a small fortune for herself, enough to buy a house in a noble's district. Damn, she's that good.
Dear Bright, I've heard you may be looking for work.
That's a little weird. How did she hear that? How does she know my name? Orchid, I know about you, but how come you know about me? Orchid knows everything about our town. We should feel lucky to be under her protection. Would you be interested in working for me? I'm looking for a shop assistant. If you are interested, come to my house tomorrow at noon. I think you may be the person I need, though there will be other candidates.
She called for you personally. The gods have smiled upon us.
I guess. I imagine working for Orchid would bring my family some honor and lots of money. Let's see. I say again, a lot of choices you could choose from. I only want to have my family. That's all I care about. All I had to do was get the job. I wondered how many people Orchid had written. I was determined to eliminate the competition in any way I could, cause fuck them. And of course that aligned ourselves to evil, cause that's terrible thinking. Why would you think like that, viewer? When the time came, I put on my best clothes and headed for Orchid's house in the Noble's district. On the way there, I bumped into Mark patrolling the street. Mark was also from the slums, but his family wasn't as bad off as mine. Over a year ago, he had asked me to marry him, and I accepted. But we hardly ever talked about it after he joined the city guard. If I were you, I would say at times I wonder why I even said yes. Mark was hoping for a promotion, and he was always awfully busy.
Good day, Bright. It's a pleasant surprise to see you here in the Nobles District for a change.
You love it here, don't you? You rarely return to our neighborhood. Well, I do return to visit my mother, and you, of course. But those clothes... You didn't get invited to some noble's party, did you? No, I'm going to apply for work in Orchid's shop. Oh, I've read about that. She nailed the announcement in front of her house, did she?
Why didn't I remember to tell you about it?
Oh, now you side speak, asshole. Sheesh. Just then, a female guard, Flora, ran up to us. To Mark, that is. She went straight to hug him as if she hadn't noticed me. Huh. That's a little... conspicuous. I met Flora before she became a city guard. I was the one who introduced her to Mark, and now she greeted him and not me. Well, la-di-do-da! Only after she gave him a good squeeze did she notice me.
Oh, hi, Bright.
Well, that's kind of rude of you. I introduced you to, and I thought we were friends. And I believe no matter what option you choose, she kind of just will say the next dialogue no matter what. Why don't you hug me too?
I, have to go.
Yeah, she'll say this dialogue, so it doesn't matter which one you choose. A lot of options in this game, it doesn't really matter what you choose. There's just slight differences here and there. That girl always has such a dull expression, as if someone slaughtered her entire family. She didn't look dull when she was squeezing her butt. She didn't mean any harm. Don't act crazy. Don't insult my intelligence, you asshole. Please, calm down. She's ugly, okay? You do know you don't have to accept hugs from everyone who tries to pounce on you, right? Yes, but it would be seen as strange if I did act friendly with fellow guards. But hugging them is considered okay? Yeah, I'm calling bullshit. Calling bullshit on Mark. Anyway, it would be splendid if I could become the first knight of Feline, and you're the assistant of the Great Orchid. And here's the interesting part. If you go to all these other dialogues, they don't matter that much, but if you go to this one specifically, that's not enough for me. I want to replace Orchid as the new Healer Witch. There will be additional dialogue later in this chapter, which I want to show off, so I will choose that. How would you do that, with Orchid's being alive? She doesn't have to be alive for long. Hehehe. Don't go there with such hostile intentions. Orchid will notice if you're up to something. She is a witch, after all. The position of her assistant alone would be an amazing improvement for you.
Well, best of luck to you, Bright. If this were a beauty contest, I have no doubt you would win.
Thank you, I guess. That doesn't really apply with my job? I don't think beauty is that important with my job opportunity, honestly. No, I have to attend a meeting where Lord Second will be present in person, and all of his 100 soldiers. Again, doesn't matter what you choose, but this one does tend to be my favorite, so I will choose this. Make sure you get into his ass quickly, so there's no room for the others. Mark wasn't pleased to hear that. Of course he wasn't. Then again, I wasn't pleased to see him this broad chick just magically hug him and it's all good and then tells me to fuck off, pretty much. He indignantly waved me off and resumed his patrol. I finally arrived at Orchid's house at the edge of the Nobles District. And once more we get the option to explore. Orchid's cures and cosmetics. There was also a note nailed to the sign stating that Orchid was hiring. And yet we received a personal letter, so I guess we're special. Orchid was so rich she even had a basement. Damn. Cat! A yellow cat was watching from the window. Orchid had a beautiful garden, which she tended to personally. The house was in the noblest district, but cozily secluded behind some trees. That really would be nice. Oh, and over here you have little options to choose from. Here's the journal entry, which every time something new is added, you can just click on it and read about it. Not really important or that much of a difference. Here's the character. This kind of helps you decide which side you're currently on right now. Right now we're 65% defiant, 55% evil. It's so evil, so evil. But again, this is kind of useless in the long run, as you'll figure out later. Here's the log. This is what we chose. Don't need to bother. Here's the menu. Again, to save and load. Blah, 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 blah. It was a nice and sunny day, but my mood didn't reflect the weather. I felt so nervous. Uh-oh. I was struck with the realization that I wasn't alone. Other candidates were gathering in front of the house, and they were not looking friendly. Along came a boy who seemed ready for a fist fight. I might have seen him around the slums before. Another candidate was a rather foul-looking lady. She was so tall and strange, I was sure I would have remembered if I'd ever seen her in town. It doesn't really matter whether we talk to them or not. Let's see. Let's talk to the woman.
What are you looking at?
Dear lady, perhaps we should all calm down a bit? You don't tell me what to do. I am. My brother is. Damn it, what's the use of talking to you?
Another girl? You know Orchid isn't looking for an apprentice witch.
She's looking for a shop assistant. Someone strong to help her carry stuff.
I'm stronger than you, you little kitten.
Besides, Orchid most likely does want someone who can help with her craft, and only women can do that. Ooh, sexism here. And we could be a little asshole to the boy saying he's dumb for trying to apply for a witch's job. But let's be nice and say, she didn't say anything about her assistant's gender, did she? She didn't. This is shop clerk's job. Anyone could do it. Lingering by the tree stood another young woman. Quietly tucked in her hood, she was almost invisible. She seemed too finely dressed to talk to any of us, though her outfit was for some reason marked with pentagrams. If she was so well off, why was she looking for work? Again, doesn't really matter what you choose. You can just say something, she'll reply with a dialogue and marry on her way. But let's compliment her outfit. Oh, girl, it's so nice to see. She looked up at me, a smile beginning to form on her lips, but she quickly went back to staring at the ground. Well, she looks like a spoiled wench who's never done any real work in her life.
I'd walk away if I were any of you. My brother is a knight of Scarswell.
So, where is he?
Scarswell is a neighboring kingdom with Feline, and we're not on good terms with them. So... he'd come if I asked him to. He would! Also, I should mention, remember this lady. Yeah, kind of remember her dialogue. Orchid won't take a scare swaller, no matter how you threaten her. Shut up, you little shit. You think she'd rather have a stupid child. And again, we have a lot to choose from, but let's go with ladies. Young lord, please. Let's all act civilized. And if I don't win, you'll pay me, Red Goose. Why? I'll show you yours for acting all noble. I don't suppose you have what it takes to threaten me? Now you start talking? Shut up. Everyone's so hostile with each other, and yes, you can make it worse. Well, not really, but you can be part of the fight instead of being the noble one in the party. Just then, the front door opened wide, and I saw magical music playing in the background and light shining above. I had met Orchid before when Mother was buying some medicine in her shop. I didn't remember ever seeing her out on the street, though. The garden was the farthest I'd seen her go. She didn't seem the type who left her home much.
You have all come to apply for the position in my house, I presume.
Yes, great Orchid. That's why I'm here. The others seemed struck with awe, and they only nodded in response. I also nodded. Might as
Pebble
well.
and Bright, I remember. And the two of you are...
My name is Chance.
Ari,
Ari, where are you from?
I am also from the south, I assure you.
I am glad to make your acquaintance, Ari.
Now, young candidates, let me explain my offer.
I require help in my shop and around the house. My assistant will have to live here with me. For this, I will pay you 1/3 of my shop's proceeds, and more if we end up getting along. You might learn a witchcraft trick or two, but there will not be time for a proper witch training. It is not my intention to raise more witches anyway. I trust you are all fine with these terms? I will accept anything you say. As long as you don't need your assistant to be a girl. Not at all. All I need is someone who is good with people. Can't we live with our parents and only come to work by day? With your parents? I do not mean to enslave anyone, but I do require my assistant to be present most of the time. A leave can be granted once in a while. I had no choice. This was the best opportunity for me and my family, even with the terms being as they were. Well, we have no other choice, so we accept these terms. Good.
Before we continue, I have a theoretical question for all of you.
Huh?
What would you do if you were all alone and you came face to face with a demon spawn?
A demon spawn? What's that at all? I wondered. Sound like an offspring of a demon.
I beat him to death.
I would hide and shoot it with arrows.
I'd stab it with a knife! At the last moment, I stopped. I felt it would be a bad idea to sound like those two. Yes? I tried to talk to it? Maybe he's not as bad as he seems? Truly?
A demon spawn could easily kill us all.
But that's not to say that he would. The infernal fathers and their sons can be appeased. There is no need for hostility. In any case, if one of their kind approaches you, it is best to treat him with respect and discover what he wants. Well, that answer works for me. Yours as well, Bright.
I'm glad you all recognize the term demon spawn.
Oh, had you chose the option to invite it to a tea party, she would make a comment saying, oh, she's pleased with my answer, but wasn't too pleased with the jokes. They are indeed, as the word says, the spawn of demons, but they are half human from their mother's side. As far as we've learned, they are always male and always have wings and double-jointed legs. Horns are also a telltale sign. Attacking a demon spawn could very well prove lethal. Besides, they are, to our knowledge, completely immortal. Their wounds heal quickly, even severed limbs. They simply return and merge back with the body. But I see the story upsets some of you. Pussies! Pussies! But I'm fine with it. At any rate, I was simply marveling at the regeneration and immortality of the infernal sons. If humans had this ability, there would be no need for healer witches, would there?
But it is already possible for humans when their hearts transform.
Hearts transform? Cut your stupid poetry and call them demon hearts. You're not the only one who's heard of them. I'm sure you are familiar with demon hearts, but you're not so fortunate yourself. Fortunate? You're insane.
I see you are versed in the subject.
However, there is still one crucial difference between demon hearts and demon spawn. Though their wounds heal on their own, the humans still age and die. The demon spawn, on the other hand, remain young forever. Aha, so there is a difference between demon spawn and demon hearts. Let's see, what are the chances of really meeting a demon spawn? Well, for the average person, they are nihil, and it's probably better that way. One might attack the demon spawn and die, as we've just heard. And what was that about human hearts transforming? It is when a human becomes part demon, he or she inherits some infernal powers, depending on how much demonic essence is consumed. These people are called demon hearts. Huh? So people are called hearts? I would not be surprised if you never heard such a thing. Being a demon heart is illegal in our kingdom. One would get arrested immediately upon discovery. There are other reasons why a person might not wish to become a demon heart. Namely, they stop being able to reproduce. Oh. So, must hate children is required, I guess. Who needs children anyway? Excuse me. Don't know why, but Chance is killing my throat for some reason. Ugh. But yeah, Chance kind of has the right idea. It is also believed that the heart might influence its bearer into committing evil deeds. Yeah, we can do evil deeds on our own. I highly doubt that. Or maybe this is simply a consequence of being hunted by the law and pretty much everyone else. I nodded and waited for her to continue.
And now to the practical test. I've made you all stand around for quite a while, and for this I apologize.
I've arranged somewhat of a contest in my basement. Unfortunately, not all of you can participate. My basement is full of fragile goods, you see. For the first time, the rich girl smiled. Only Ari and Bright may enter the basement. The rest of you, until we meet again. Defeated, the others walked away, but we could still hear them.
She wanted a witch after all.
But why the red goose?
I was confused. Why did she refuse them and pick me to continue on? Excuse me, why did you pick me to stay? Why such a lack of confidence? Why wouldn't I pick you? I reckon you are not the type who will wreck the entire place with a stick. I'm sure she's not. I assume you still want to compete for the position of my assistant. Of course! Ari said nothing, but she kept smiling in that way. In that case, you will both enter the basement. Each of you will be required to work alone and complete 3 small tasks. The ultimate task is to retrieve a jeweled chalice. A simple trinket, but it will serve as proof of your victory. Whoever returns from the basement with the chalice has won.
Oh, and when you pass through the big library, don't touch anything.
He. I'll be waiting for you in my shop. Orchid handed a key to the rich girl. Now, there's no point in wishing you both good luck when only one of you will win, is there? She smiled and headed back to her house. The rich girl remained to watch Orchid's back respectfully and only turned to me once Orchid had disappeared.
Why do you want to work for Orchid?
My parents are at work. Could you not have picked something safer? Orchid may be working as a healer, but she is much more. Staying with the witch is never safe. Let's see. Doesn't really matter again, because I'm in no position to choose. I have 3 people to feed. There's always a choice. You see no other option because you don't want to. She walked to the basement door, and I had to follow. I was all alone in this, and with such unfair competition, this girl carried herself like she were Orchid's equal. Uh-oh, that might not be good for us. I followed the rich girl down the basement stairs. And here we can look around as well. There are some empty pots set up for cooking. Nice. This room appeared to be a warehouse of magical ingredients. There are also books everywhere, mostly alchemy related. Let's see. There was a single passage further into the basement, but it was blocked by a field of light, buzzing with some strange magic. Ari walked to pick a piece of paper with something written on it. What's that?
Orchid left us instructions for making an antidote, a common item she sells.
This field of light acts as a barrier that will only let you through if you're carrying a bottle of antidote. If you snatch the girl from the paper from her hand, she'll go like, "Hey, what are you doing? Stop being an asshole, asshole!" Pretty much. Yeah, I could actually. That's actually kind of funny. You know what? Let's do it.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
I already know the receipt. So be my guest if you must. You won't get far. Yeah, we could be a total asshole to her. It's pretty amusing. The receipt mentioned ambrosia, purple roses, and nightroot. Arya ran up to one of the shelves and started taking some things out. She chose a pot to cook in, and before I knew it, she had a bottle full of some glowing brownish liquid in her hand. I hurried up to find the ingredients for my own potion. Ari turned to me one last time before walking away.
I'm doing you a favor. You just don't know it. And you never will.
Tell that to my starving parents. I need money, bitch. Holding the potion bottle in front of her, Ari steps toward the magic barrier. It dissolves to make way around her, then fell back into place as soon as she walked through. I had to do my best to mix the potion on my own. I wondered what I was even doing there. Why was I supposed to be experienced at mixing potions, and why did that girl know everything? It was all like a pastime to her, while my family was starving. I should have never hoped for this job, I thought. I kept struggling with the potion until the liquid in the pot finally resembled what Ari had made. I was far behind the rich girl. I thought I would never amount to anything in this world. At last, it looked ready. I also approached the barrier with the bottle in my hand. Magic energy pulled me into an impressive library. Looking around, these books had strange names. Some of them were in foreign languages I couldn't make out. To my surprise, Ari was still there, paging through a dusty book. Why are you stuck?
You wish. I got carried away, huh?
I think that's where you need to go. She pointed to the hallway right in front of me. What about you? That passage isn't blocked by the riddle, so you could check it out. I'm more interested in a challenge. That was when I noticed. Of course! The entire time, a faint buzzing sound was coming from behind the bookshelves. There was another passage there, warded with magic. And what's the matter? Let's see. Explore the hallway. So this kind of leads up to different little options. If we explore the hallway, you're gonna kind of miss out on a few things. So first off, I believe we're gonna say, I've written this down. Stay with Ari. What password? Okay, we're gonna stay with Ari first. And shit, I forgot to save. Bah, whatever. Aren't you stubborn? Well, be my guest. I'll still best you in the end. And it moves us over here to this barrier. Together we snuck behind the bookshelf, which was hiding the secret passage.
What shall we do regarding this barrier?
Is there another potion we need to make? No, this one is different. I've already inspected it, but I haven't solved it. If we move a little closer... Ari stepped closer to the barrier, and letters started forming from the magic smoke. They spelled horned mate. Is this a riddle? Pretty much. We need to rearrange the letters. It's been a while since I've seen one of these. fancy that Orchid would use it as protection, though this one can be too difficult considering the number of letters.
This is demon speech, when they bother to speak with us at all.
They twist our words into strange messages and laugh at our confusion. You can try to unscrabble the words to reveal a secret, but by the time you're finished, it's usually too late. Though I suppose Orchid's door isn't going to attack us. Let's try solving it. Sure, let's see how good you'd be if you'd actually met a demon. So here's an interesting mechanic in this game. You can solve the puzzles with these little word games. The very first one you get, not too difficult. In fact, you're going to see this name a lot in this deciphering code stuff. Demonheart.
That was the solution?
Haha, I can't believe she used that word. Too obvious. The barrier had faded into nothing. And deafening sound begins. But I'm gonna pause right now and head back to that one area where we get to a second option. Because there was a second option I forgot to say before doing it, so hold on just 1 second. And so here we are, back once more to this area that I forgot to say before. Ha ha ha! Hope that's not a common theme in this LP. But as I said, explore the hallway, you're really kind of missing out, so I really wouldn't bother it. But I would bother with, is there any book you'd recommend?
Well, this one is a must-read.
She handed me a book with a rather disturbing cover. On the inside, the title said, "On the Demon Spawn." That word again. A misread. Why? Well, at least a witch would find it interesting. The demon spawn are so rare, creating one requires a grave sacrifice. They are also quite strong-willed, so it would be difficult to study them. Now, this is a research journal describing one young demon spawn's life. It reveals many secrets about them, if the others are at all like him. Might as well read about it. I'm curious. Introduction. Aniri Syke and Kaleki Rhine were a mistress and apprentice witch from El Shai, famous for the demon spawn experiments, journaled in this book. They abducted a half-demon baby and, through their research, gave the world invaluable knowledge about the sons of the infernal beasts. In summer 1311, 1 year after they published their manuscript in El Shai, Syke and Rhine mysteriously vanished. That meant they had published it on the year I was born. It wasn't such an old book after all. The demon child's fate is also unknown. Rumor has it that expeditions have found severed horns used as goblets in the witch's dining wall. Ugh. Apart from damaging the demon spawn for scientific purposes, the rumors make it that the witches also took sadistic pleasure in humiliating him. It is believed that the experiment escaped and took revenge on its captors, dealing a great blow to humankind's future discoveries. Thankfully, the journal was already widespread in El Shai and translated into 4 languages. Without doubt, every witch should have this book in our library. Followed by the scribe's name. With not enough time to read the entire tome, I browsed the pages for anything that would catch my attention. We found him petrified with terror, this red infant staring at a woman's body that hung from the tree. We could tell from his eyes that he knew his mother had taken her life in an attempt to stop his becoming, yet there he was. I heard Ari meddling with the magic passage behind the bookshelves, but I expected her to do that. The strange book, it seemed to call out to me. I kept turning pages. As fate would have it, Dorius soon started hating his name. He associated it with all the traumatic memories of living in captivity. Further on it said, indeed, no injury could leave long-lasting consequences beyond some scarring. On the next page I opened, Dorius already had the appearance of an adult human male. He had the physique of a trained warrior, although he'd provide no condition of such training. A deafening sound flooded the room. An alarm? I felt like the walls were shaking, and there was some strange dust? I lost my consciousness. I woke up lying on the floor of Orchid's basement. The dust was settling down. Then I saw Orchid standing above me like a light in the darkness. She seemed to smile for a second. No, I thought, I must be making things up. She had a concerned look as she gave me her hand. It doesn't matter what you choose, but I took her hand out of fear and disappointing her.
I should have known that girl was up to no good.
The witch girl? Witch girl indeed. I believe I recall who she is now. Another witch's assistant. Her apprentice even. So yes, she is a witch herself. I may have even met her when she was younger, hence the hood. Why did she apply? To rob me of something valuable.
Our witch guest broke into a storage room, not designated for this contest. I know she did it on purpose.
I'm positive that's the reason she was here, to steal from me, orders from her mistress. But my properties are secured against thieves, so the two of you had to take a little nap. I've shown the thief to the exit while you slept. She should know better than to return. She didn't seem that bad to me, honestly. She even told me to, okay, get out while you still can. Bad or not, that child was following someone's orders, and her actions insulted me.
I cannot afford another disaster like this. It's a good thing you came along. You are exactly the person I need.
But you already knew this. Why did you write to me? There aren't many intelligent young people like you in our town. I saw an opportunity for us both, but I still wanted to give a chance to the candidates from the other towns. No one decent there, as it turned out. Does that mean?
From this day forward, you will be known as my assistant.
Sweet! How much is the wage? I'm sure it'll be enough for your whole family. Hell yeah! Big enough to feed ourselves and the parents. And from that day, I started working in Orchid's shop. Orchid made me responsible for dealing with customers. She stopped seeing them except when it was necessary. She spent her time pacing the house, thinking, and sometimes writing something. Letters that she never seemed to send. In the night, she would often sit in the dining room and write letters by the candlelight. Whenever she had an idea, she had to write it down immediately, even if it meant leaving her bed at night and staying up for hours. A mysterious woman watched over us from the portrait above. I never got the opportunity to ask who she was. Perhaps it was a person of significance to Orchid's life, or a respected ancestor. I got well acquainted with Orchid's cat, Mr. Edgardo. He had the talent of being everywhere at once, especially while I was trying to do something important. So many times I thought I had left him behind in another room, only to find him standing on a shelf right in front of me. I got used to it after a while. I learned about different kinds of cures and what they do, but only participated in making the simpler ones. Many visitors from other towns came to inquire about a potion of eternal youth. Orchid instructed me to tell them that no witch had ever made such a potion, save for fakes. Yet, as much as she tried to educate the people, they would remain hopeful and would just go seek their potion elsewhere. Fair enough. Oh, and if you didn't read the book, this option right here would not pop up. Or at least this little extra dialogue would not pop up, so... On a couple of occasions, I found my way back to the secret library. Orchid didn't like me browsing her books, so she rarely allowed me to enter. I never saw the book on the demon spawn again. I must have dropped it that day when I fainted, and Orchid put it back in a different spot. Darn it, I wanted to know more. My parents were more than proud of me for becoming Orchid's assistant. My mother bought a burgundy dress and wore it every day. Want to get, worn out eventually, or dirty after a certain point?
How have you been? I was just taking a walk in the Nobles District and decided to stop by.
We don't need any medicine, thank the gods. You know, I'm not the only one in our family that's capable of working, and since you're feeling so well, Mom, stop making your child do everything for you. God. What if I want my own family, huh? What are you gonna do then? What are you gonna do then? But let's be nice. We're a family person. Everything is good over here. It's nice to see you so happy. I'm glad that you are happy too. The work isn't too difficult, is it? No, I only talk with people and sell them their stuff, and they all behave when they come here.
It's wonderful you ended up here. Orchid is our lucky star. Thanks to her, everything will go our way.
Sure, Mom. Sure, I'm sure it is. Mark also came to visit me. Of course he did. He had a request, because he's an asshole.
Could you ask Orchid for a recommendation on my behalf?
She would only need to write a letter to a Lord Second and mention me. Yes, Lord Second. That is the guy who rules this kingdom. Or at least like the Duke or something like that. And his name is Lord Second. I'm not even kidding. What a dumbass name. I've passed all the tests, but to become a knight, I need social connections. And so here's another interesting part with him that you can actually get additional dialogue from. And that's if you say no. No, you're not fit to be a knight, so they'll be right if they don't pick you. Is that a proper way to talk to your betrothed? You've entered the circles of high society, Bright. Act like it. Yeah, I have. You haven't, bitch.
What did that boy want?
I don't know. He's weird. It must be from his recent struggles. I heard your friend has been advancing his position in the army, but he hasn't quite been able to change his social status. Let's see, what were the options that did it? Well, let me save just in case. And you can name your save file, so save 1. There we go. I probably should have paid more attention to this, shouldn't I? I think he's gotten too greedy. Let's go with that. Why don't we give him a chance?
After all, if you never trust anyone, how can you tell friends from traitors?
Sometimes you should give people their heart's desire, just to see what they'll do with it. Let's see. No, he doesn't deserve it. Alright, I respect your wish, and your judgment. Trust me, I can tell what's going on a mile away, hon. It ain't looking good. But yeah, if you agree, then you won't get the additional dialogue. But we'll be getting that soon enough. The next day, an old man with a wooden leg came in, asking for some medicine.
Get me a dozen of those purple painkillers, please.
My leg keeps hurting, although I don't have it anymore. Only Orchid has been able to reduce my pain. What happened to your leg, buddy? Pirate attack. I was defending the priest. Their blades had some nasty poison. It's been decades, but I can still feel it. Pirates? He must not be from these parts, I thought. I'm sorry, I'll get you your purple potions right away. Thank you. Everything seemed normal until I noticed a tattoo of a pentagram underneath his sleeve. And a magic pops in. The demon sign. How could this old man be a cultist? Whose priest had he defended from the pirates? And Orchid never refused to help you all these years? Never. She is truly a noble woman with much understanding. Others would tell me to stop imagining a leg that isn't there. How I wish that worked. I see. Well, here are your portions, sir. Thank you again, child. For a moment, it looked like he was leaving, but then turned back.
I saw what happened to that old yellow cat Orchid used to have.
Mr. Edgardo, if I recall well. A shame. Why? What happened to him? The stray mutts tore him apart. Saw his remains behind the house this morning. But he's at the window right behind you. Like, right there. By the 4! There he is! I'm glad he's holding up fine. 4 gods instead of 3. He is definitely a cult. Wait, 4 gods instead of 3? He is definitely a cultist. Well, that must mean there has been another unfortunate yellow cat out there. A pity nonetheless.
I've taken enough of your time, child. May you have a blessed day.
Yeah, you too, man. Careful out there. The blessing of a cultist. Dead cat in the garden. I went to the basement to find Orchid.
You look upset.
I just sold something to an old cultist. A returning customer of yours? Which old cultist? I used to see lots of people. One with a wooden leg. Ah, yes, he has pains in his imaginary leg, and painkiller helps him calm his mind. It's all in his head, but it does him no harm. The potion might soothe some other pain he's having. He told me there's a dead cat behind the house. A cat? How unfortunate. Well, we should find it and maybe bury the thing. I mean, it's in the back. We should probably dispose of it at least. Jesus. Please, I did not invite you into my home for this. The land is littered with corpses, whether we relish the thought or not. This house was almost certainly built over an ancient graveyard of some sort, and so is yours. Now, you know I love cats, but I accept that they can't all be as fortunate as Mr. Edgardo. It's still a dead cat in your backyard. You should really clean that up. I'll go and check if the garden needs some cleaning. You tend to the shop, please.
Remember, you can always come to me with anything that bothers you.
Technically, I just did, and you told me to shut up. Pretty much. Thank you, Orchid. You're so helpful. The next day, that woman barged in. That woman? Ah, that woman.
Hey.
What are you doing here? I don't need Orchid shit cures. I'm chasing some feline asshole who owes me money, but ever since we met, I've been dwelling on what happened here. So I've come to talk with you. Talk about what? That horror Orchid is terribly suspicious. Why? Because she turned you down?
Did you notice when she told me and that kid to go home?
When she saw you were both aggressive idiots? We told her that we don't like demons, and she sent us home. You don't really worship demons yourself, do you? You just knew what to say. Manipulative little... And that witch girl with pentagrams all over her. Come on, it was easy. Orchid is a healer witch, not some warrior brute. Witches respect weird creatures. Duh, dumbass. Easy? Well, you got what you wanted. But you may just get in trouble, feline girl. Orchid is crazy. Good luck with her. You're just envious. Get the fuck out, bitch. No. In fact, I figured it out I shouldn't be. Until never, feline girl. And that's the last chance, actually. But we will be hearing more about her later. One day, Orchid spent a lot of time locked inside her bedroom. I thought she was busy making something she didn't want me to discover. I saw her bringing in some strange ingredients, such as leather straps. I wondered how she was using those. Then she finally went to the kitchen to make some dinner. She did that all by herself every day. Actually, she had been getting kind of fat. Oops. Orchid, you're getting fat. Lose some weight. Or lay off the cookies. She left her bedroom unlocked. I wonder if she noticed if I snuck in. I decided to take my chances. And there's the cat. One day on the windowsill, and now he's on the top of here. Finally, it became clear. Those were not potion ingredients. Orchid had been making jewelry. Magical amulet, I guess. It looked rather enchanting. I wish it had been a simple necklace fit for a commoner. Why did she have to make them magical? That way I couldn't afford them?
Right. What are you doing here?
I thought you wanted me to clean your room? What? I can do that just fine. I've only been gone for a second. No matter. I was going to show you what this is all about either way.
This is an amulet of true love. As long as a person wears it, they will love you forever.
Wouldn't it be handy to have such a trinket? I don't know. What is the purpose of love? Orchid laughed. I'm watching you, and I can't quite tell if you believed me.
In truth, this amulet is going to be so much more. It will be a powerful means of communication.
And I want you to have it. But I don't want to be in love with you. It was only a joke. I would never use that kind of magic, even if I knew how. I had never laid eyes upon something so beautiful. I knew it was magic, but I couldn't resist it. It moved on its own, or Orchid had moved it with her magic. The necklace flew through the air and settled down around my neck. But except for the amulet touching my skin, I didn't feel any different. I certainly didn't like Orchid any more than I used to. Also, I would like to invite you to dinner tonight. Dinner? It's a love amulet after all, isn't it? I don't want to be in love with you! I don't go that way! No, it's not like that. There's just something very important that I need to tell you, and I would like your full attention. Since I was stuck in Orchid's house day and night, and my job was to serve her, I thought I might as well attend this formal dinner of hers. She called me downstairs when it was all ready. It seemed she really outdid herself in that dinner. She sat down facing each other in the candlelight.
Have a taste of this, dear. I made it just for you.
She showed me a dish with a small, almost black grilled steak and honey. I'm delighted, but you really shouldn't have. I have been studying receipts from Vatos. They would outlaw me if they knew. As I said, there is something important I need to tell you, but do help yourself first. The steak was crunchy, yet despite all the honey, it had a strong bitter taste. Orchid laughed as I reached out for my wine glass.
I'm expecting a child.
Oh, goddamn! Congratulations! I couldn't understand what she was saying as I took the last bite. I was not feeling well. I was head down on the table and I couldn't see anything. Bright, dear? Mm-hmm. It will pass. I felt her cold hand caressing my hair.
I love all the people in this town, especially you, Bright. But not as much as I love my son. You will have to love him for me.
What? I want you to keep him safe. Protect him from those who would do him harm, and teach him to protect himself.
Promise me.
Sure. I promise. Thank you. I know you mean it.
His name is going to be Ray's. Do you think he'll like it?
How can you tell it's going to be a boy? Because of his father. He'll understand when you meet my son. She smiled, looking down at her stomach. Then I understood. She hadn't been getting fat. She really was pregnant. But I could swear her stomach had grown too quickly. You didn't take that food very well, did you? I'm so sorry. There's another thing I wanted to tell you. You have a free evening tonight, so you can go check how your parents are doing. I could use some fresh air, so thanks. Good night, dear. As I stumbled out of the dining room, I saw the cat all ruffled. He started hissing at me. Ray, I thought you liked me, buddy. There was something wrong with him. I had never seen him so upset. I picked up Mr. Edgardo to try to calm him down. Mr. Edgardo tried crawling out of my arms, but he didn't attack me. As I stroked his back, I noticed something strange with his fur. Some of his hair was missing, and I could see dark scars under his pink skin. I was certain he didn't have those when I first saw him. But I had to leave Mr. Agardo alone. Scars on the kitty. And the old man thought that the cat was dead. I had other things to deal with, so fuck that. As I walked out of Orchid's garden and into the street, it started raining. But I thought I'd rather spend some time with my family and leave Orchid alone for a while. So I started running. It was a cold night, a summer rain. The amulet that attached itself to my neck was warm. I tried, but I couldn't remove it. It was as if the thing had a will of its own. I could swear it moved and tightened when I tried to take it off. I couldn't find any kind of clasp on it either. Perhaps I should try a knife when I get home, I thought. I thought I'd rather keep it and discover what it does. I ran all the way to my parents' house.
Bright? Gods, get inside. You need to change your clothes.
Change into what? I don't have anything nice here. I'll have none of that. Change it to anything that's clean, and I'll set your clothes to dry. Your father is at his friend's place. He's been upset about his feeling useless. I am having a hard time keeping him away from his drinking mates.
But what happened over there?
Daddy, I swear to God, if you become an alcoholic because I got a job, I'm gonna discontinue giving you money. I swear to fuck. Mother had been so happy about my job. She fully trusted Orchid. I wonder if I should tell her.
Why did Orchid let you out in the rain?
Orchid gave me a day off of work. The rain just caught me halfway there. Oh, okay. I was worried something was wrong. Did you know Orchid is pregnant? Pregnant? But she's not married! Ooh, it sounds like there will be a scandal! Yes, she's hiding from her customers. That's why she needed an assistant.
Did she give you that necklace?
Yes, it's supposed to be magical, but I'm not sure what it does. I'm sure Orchid will explain it to you. It's exquisite. It looks nice on you. Yes, it does, actually. I think it does anyway. You deserve this and so much more. I'm glad you can finally afford to have it all.
So how is Mark doing? Any news about the wedding?
Mark tried to use me for his advancement, but I asked Orchid not to help him. He hasn't talked to me since. Use you? Are you sure you're not taking things the wrong way? Mark is quite a hard-working young lad. I know how excited he is about his job. Maybe he doesn't have the balls to tell me I'm not his betrothed anymore. He's just excited to be out of the slums, and now I have saved some money. I don't need to marry him anymore. Nah, let's just go with this. Maybe he doesn't have the balls to tell me I'm not his betrothed anymore. Bright, what kind of language is that? You should do what you can to make peace with him. Mark is a proper lad in every way, hardworking and devoted. You should be proud of him for becoming a law officer. What more could you ask for? He's devoted, sure, but to what? If he is loyal to our town, he will make a trustworthy husband as well. I don't know, him and Flora are a little too friendly with each other for my taste. He's not really that way. He's just looking for ways to make his job easier. I thought you loved him. If you've changed your mind, better change your answer to that proposal. Well, you look tired. I've kept you long enough. Good night, dear. Good night, Mother. Mother turned away from me to do some housework. Since I started living with Orchid, she and Father had more space. And they could probably make more babies if they wanted to. Tonight with my return, it was going to be packed tight again. If Father came back for the night, that is. I slipped under my bed sheets. I didn't know how Orchid intended to hide her pregnancy until the end. I had heard tales of pregnant witches being cursed. If they had known Orchid was pregnant, people would have stopped trusting anything she made for them. But then, everyone loved Orchid. Would they really mind? I thought they'd be bound to learn about the baby when it was born. I didn't know why it became so hot. I tossed and turned in my bed, trying to get comfortable enough to fall asleep. And a commotion in front of the door easily woke me. My mother was arguing with some men, pleading with them. Uh-oh. Stuff is about to come down! But we'll save that for next time. In the meantime, I am Tara the Fox. You are the viewer. And I hope to see you next time.